when you're dealing with bipolar people, sometimes when they're on a little manic episode, they make connections that are clearly not proper connections. Associating this with that, and these two things are not related. They are after me because they know I'm going to get a new pair of shoes, and if I go get these new pair of shoes, then they would know that I know what's going on, and there's nothing that they can do to stop me. Yeah, those two things are not related. They have no connection whatsoever, but in this person's mind, they believe it. And sometimes people, the people dealing with them, loved ones, think it's just easier to say, yeah. So you probably shouldn't get those shoes, or you probably should get those shoes, or whatever the case may be. They'll play into the delusion because it's just easier. Because for a fact, if you disagree with the fantasy that's going on in their head, they're going to attack you. They're going to curse you out. It's going to end in fire. And so it's just easier to say, yeah, go along with it. But here is why I say that that's probably not the best way to go. Because I'll say this is not the best way to go, because if someone comes to you and say, hey man, I think I can fly. If I flap my arms really, really fast, I think I can fly. And you don't want to hear that foolishness. You know you can't fly that way, but you just don't want to talk about it. And you say, yeah, I think you can fly if you flap your arms really fast. That's probably could happen. And that person then goes and jumps off a building and flap their arms really fast and fall to their death. Whose fault is it? Let me tell you, it's definitely their fault, because they weren't thinking correctly. But it's also your fault because you co-signed that fantasy that was never real. Now, they may argue with you that I think I can fly, but you did your part in not allowing that fantasy to get co-signed into reality. Like I've said in the past, I am not an expert at bipolar, narcissistic personalities by any means. I'm in a situation where I'm drowning on a daily basis. So when I learn lessons, no matter how I learn those lessons, I just think it's necessary to share. Maybe I can save somebody else, a little pain in the process. That's it.